Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another transfer video, and this one is probably the first real credible one that we could say. Rob Dawser, who is reliable when it comes to Leeds United and everything around Leeds United. He's a Sky Sports what's it called? I don't know what the word is. Anyway, Leeds. He's very. He's one of the ones that yes, you can agree, you can believe in. By the way, I know there's a lot of out there. Of course, we're in silly season and stupid season where we get these stupid links to stupid players that are never going to come to Leeds, or they're stupid links, in my opinion, like Jamie Vardy, who, no thank you. I'm sorry, I think Jamie Vardy's a legend, of course, but he's aged. No, I'm good. I'm good. But the link has been Beto. We know we need a striker because Joseph, he's just not going to do it in the Premier League, and I honestly think we either sell him or loan him out, not quite sure. The whole PSR thing again, if another club from Spain come in for Joseph for about 20 million, because of his potential, we might take that. We might be like 20 million for Joseph. We'll take that just because the PSR, and that will help us with that. Anyway, the exclusive Leeds United interested in Everton striker Beto. Leeds have a transfer kitty of over £100 million that we want to spend in the transfer window. Such is their ambition to stay in the Premier League. It's unclear if Everton would allow their joint leading goal scorer, who has scored 7, to leave. But huge reorganization, sorry. Oh my god, my brain. Reorganization for Moyes this summer with 15 of Everton players out of contract. Now, there's this that came out. Will Butcher, I don't know how reliable he is. He put an article talking about this. Leeds United interested in signing £26 million Premier League striker with 49ers set to spend 100 plus million. Joel Piroe finished the season as the Championship top goal scorer, but the Dutchman's form has been up and down after his £16 million move from Swansea to Leeds United. Piroe has never played in the Premier League, and I just don't think he's a Premier League player. Like, this might be harsh. Maybe he deserves a chance. But Joel Piroe, for me, I don't think he's a Premier League player based off the fact of there's been games this season. There have been games this season, a lot of games this season, where we can all agree he goes invisible and he goes missing in a lot of games. We call him Anonymous. Anonymous Piroe, people call him. He goes anonymous in a lot of games, which is why I don't think he's going to work in the Premier League. Because as a Premier League striker, you need to get involved. And some games he does, but he doesn't do it in all the games. And there'll be some games where we're going to get frustrated. A lot of games, in my opinion, we're going to get frustrated if Piroe is the starting number 9, where he's just going to go invisible, basically, and not be involved at all and be probably marked out the game by pretty good centre-backs as well. That's the other thing. He's against higher-level centre-backs in the Championship, way higher-level centre-backs. So he's probably going to get marked out of the game a lot more. Graham Smith expects Patrick Bamford to leave Leeds United in the summer. So, yeah, it's expected that Patrick Bamford is going to leave Leeds United, which for me is sad because I actually like Bamford, and I think he's shown a lot of loyalty to the club, but I know we have to move on. I do understand the whole thing, and we have to move on. But I have a connection to some players, especially the players that played under Bielsa. I have a connection. I like all of them, and Bamford's probably the last. Once Bamford leaves, it's kind of the end of an era. Like, people would say Stroud, but I don't class him in that kind of era because he wasn't starting, you know what I mean? Like, he was the replacement for Calvin Phillips. He was like, remember when we thought he was the next midfielder? Anyway, but yeah, Patrick Bamford's expected to leave before the season starts in the Premier League. I mean, he's been out all season. He hasn't scored a single goal all season. He probably will leave, but if he, especially he's on 70k a week as well, so we probably do want to get him off the books. But if he did stay, I'd love him as a backup because I just think he's a good backup striker when games when it's close and we have to hold on. But anyway, let's move on. Mateo Joseph failed to build on his preseason momentum, managing just 3 goals. And Real Betis could make a bid for Joseph after January. So Real Betis apparently want to make a bid and come in for Joseph, which, in my opinion, Leeds United, as I already said, Leeds United may accept that because the whole PSR thing. The Whites then need a proven Premier League striker who is entering their prime and can fire Leeds to safety next season. It appears the 49ers have found one, identifying a player at their direct rivals. They mean relegation rivals, not their rivals. Leeds United are interested in signing Angus Kinnear's new number 9. In the summer of 2023, Everton splashed a massive $26 million to sign lofty striker Beto from Udinese. He struggled in his first season, but this time around, he has scored 9 goals, 7 in the Premier League. The introduction of David Moyes as manager has paid dividends for Beto at Everton. Angus Kinnear is now set to take over and will take Nick Hammond with him, and a decision will have to be made on Beto. That is after Sky Sports reporter Rob Dorset has reported on Wednesday afternoon that Leeds want to splash the cash 100 plus million budget on Beto this summer. The striker has 2 years left on his contract. Yeah, that's just basically. Then it says the tweet that we just read already at the start. The issue with Leeds United have when they try to sign Beto. There are a few issues. The connection with Kinnear is a problem, given it will be seen as if the new Everton CEO is doing his old club favors. Everton are now a direct rival for Leeds United next term. Which, yeah, I mean, they're a relegation rival because they'll be probably down there near the bottom near us. Probably, in my opinion, if we're going to stay up, the 2 teams that are going to be down there, in my opinion, are Everton and Wolves. But the main issue Leeds will find when trying to sign the Geni Bouze striker is PSR. Everton will not want to make a loss on a player that has finally found his feet in the Premier League, having cost 26 million. So they're probably going to want more than 26 million. They're probably going to want 30 plus million, 35 maybe, 35 million. A huge fee for a player that is improving, but Beto is still miles off proving his worth with 2 years left on his deal. Everton will be under no pressure to sell after their takeover, and their chance of it seems small. Now, I want to talk about Beto for a minute, because Beto, yes, he's got 7 goals this season, and he's looked better, but 4 of those 7 goals, right, if I can find it here, 4 of those 7 goals came in 4 games in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 games in a row, where he scored 2 against Leicester, 1 against Liverpool, 1 against Palace, and 1 against Man United. That came all in a row in, like, the middle-ish of the season. Actually, no, maybe a bit further on. It came in between the 24th game of the season and the 28th game of the season, basically. So between then is where he got 5 of the 7 goals. He scored his first goal in the 9th game of the season, and then he didn't score another goal until his last match he just played, which was against Ipswich. He also scored. So he hasn't scored, like, he scored them all in like a bunch in like the middle of the season. That's where I'm a bit worried about the signing of Beto, because he does look like a good player. And I'm not saying he's a poor player at all. And he'll probably be a better striker option than Piroe. But the problem is he's barely scored all season. I understand he hasn't played much all season. I think he's had 12 starts this season, so he hasn't actually played all the minutes in a lot of games. At the start of the season, he didn't really play any minutes. 14, 18 minutes, 2, 9. So he barely played for the start of the season. He played 66 minutes against Man United in the 13th game of the season. That was his best. That was his most minutes he played. And then he didn't play again for the next 2 games and played 17 minutes against Chelsea. And then he played 15 minutes against Forest, 9, 7, 77. Then he played against Brighton and got 77 minutes. And that's when he got the 87 minutes against Leicester where he scored twice, the 90 minutes against Liverpool where he scored, the 90 against Palace where he scored, and the 90 against Man United when he scored. He then went on to play another 90 minutes against Brentford and Wolves where he didn't score a single goal. And then after they played 79 minutes against West Ham, didn't score a goal. 78 minutes against Liverpool, didn't score a goal. 64 minutes against Arsenal, didn't score a goal. And then he had 26 minutes against Forest, 27 minutes against Man City, 63 minutes against Chelsea, all without goals. And then in his most recent game, played 76 minutes and scored 1 goal. So it does, like, he didn't play many minutes, but you still look at that as, like, he scored them all in, like, a clump. So was that just him being on a good run of form? And David Moyes coming in is massive to him actually picking up the form, of course. But is there a case to say that he's, like, in a purple patch? Maybe that was a little purple patch and he's not really gonna be the main striker that we need, because we're gonna need a striker to score how many goals to stay up, in my opinion? I think we need a striker that can score 12 goals. I think 10 to 12 goals. They have to hit double digits. Will he be able to hit double digits? Maybe. As I said, he's probably a better option up front than Piroe, but is there someone better that we could get from, like, another league, or like even like another Premier League proven striker that we could get? Not quite sure. I want to know, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on Beto, because I'm not quite sure if we should get him or not. If he does sign, it's not like I'm going to be angry. I think he's a good player and I think he's improving. He's not hit his prime yet. Maybe it's good to sign him right before his prime. Maybe we get him, for 35 million, let's just say. Bang, we make that signing. We sign him. He then plays very well for Leeds. And then over the next couple of years, he enters his prime. And his prime being at Leeds would be great. But we still don't know. It is a big risk. And, a player like that is a big risk who, hasn't really done it in the Premier League besides this one season where he has only scored 7 goals. And as I said, 5 of those 7 were in a big clump in the middle of the season, basically. Maybe a bit further on in the middle of the season, but you know where I meant. But yeah. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.